This is an urgent appeal from the Disasters Emergency Committee. Hundreds of thousands of people have fled their homes to escape conflict in Ukraine, leaving jobs, belongings and loved ones behind. They need shelter, food and water. You can help. To donate online, search DEC or text radio to 70150 to give £10. Thank you.
Streaming 24/7, this is Brum Radio.
Thank you for downloading this Brum Radio podcast. For more podcasts, visit brumradio.com.
I'm Dave Massey. I'm joined on the phone by Garry Robson, who is playing Don Kirshner in Beautiful, which is the Carole King musical at Birmingham Hippdrome from August the 30th until the 3rd of September. Garry, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, Dave. Thanks, mate. It's down in Eastbourne at the minute, and the weather's lovely.
Is this the first week of the tour? Have you been to any other places yet?
Well, this is the second half of the tour, so we've done 6 months already.
Wow.
And then had like a month break, and now we're back for the second half of the tour. So yeah, we've done 101 shows so far, so we should be sort of well honed in really by now.
I feel like sometimes when productions have had a little break and then they're coming back to touring, that they might feel like it's a brand new tour or something like that. But do you feel that continuation? Is that something that's easy to feel with the tour?
Well, no, it does feel new. You're quite right, actually, because it feels quite fresh again, because it's lovely seeing everybody. You know, you get very close to people on a tour this length, and it's great seeing everybody. And then also you find new things, I think, in the show itself, which is great. And there's always those niggly little bits that you wanted to do a little better, but there was never the time to properly fix them, and this is an opportunity to do that as well. So no, it's a joy to be back, and it's got a great buzz about it. I mean, we open tonight in Eastbourne, so the proof of the pudding will be later on, but I mean, it feels very good at the moment. It really does. Had
you seen this production on stage before being in it yourself?
No, I'd never seen it. I'd heard about it. I knew it was a really good piece of work, but I'd never seen it.
I was lucky enough to review this production, a production of Beautiful, and I looked back at the dates for that as well, and that was in 2017 that I'd reviewed that, so that's quite some years ago. I'm coming to see this production myself when it's at Birmingham Hippodrome, and one of the reasons that I'm coming to see it is I've seen Molly Grace Cutler and Tom Milner in a production together over in Coventry, which was called We'll Live and Die in These Towns, and I wanted to come back deliberately and see what this was like with them in it. How does having different leads and different actors in place for characters, how does that affect the storytelling, and how does it affect how you relate to people on the stage? Yeah,
I mean, I think it really everybody. I think particularly the Carol character that Molly plays, Carole King. I think every great performer puts their own stamp on it, and Molly certainly does. I mean, Molly, you'll know if you've seen Molly before. She's a force of nature. Mm-hmm. She really. And I mean, it's an amazing portrayal of Carole King. And Tom is a rock, mate. I mean, he's great. He's a great bloke to be on tour with. But he's a wonderful singer and musician as well. And they're both great actors. So, I think it's a fresh interpretation. I think you'd have to say that, because I think the staging of it is very different. It's very, very pasty. It buzzes through the show. There's great songs, there's great movement, all the rest of it. But it's a very pacey production, and I think you'll find it quite different. People who've seen it before, and particularly people who've seen it on Broadway, have sort of said it's amazing. It's very, very different from what we saw before, but it's equally amazing. And the most oft-used word about the show is it's joyous. It's a joyous show. Well, yourself. It's one of the. It's kind of a jukebox musical, but it also has a great book. It's got a great story.
Yes.
The Carole King's story is amazing. It really is, and she kind of changed the face of popular music, really, for women, I think.
Absolutely, and it left me last time with a huge smile on my face. I knew a lot of the songs that was within it as well, which was just wonderful to feel like it was so familiar to me, even though I was seeing something that I'd never seen before on stage. Do you have a favourite moment or song during the production? One perhaps that you either watch or see other people do or are involved with yourself?
Yeah, I always watch From the Wings when they do Natural Born Woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful. It really is. I mean, Molly's vocal performance on it is amazing. And there's 3 other women do it with her, and they're all just incredible. It's a really powerful moment. The audience have been on their feet several times already, as you'll know from the show you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But this moment, it kind of captures probably the essence of Carole King. On what it means, particularly to women in the audience. I think it's a great moment, and I always watch From the Wings because I just love it. It's so powerful, great song, and a great performance of a great song.
And what do you think an audience might expect from this particular version of the production itself, particularly if they don't know this story?
Well, I think, like you said, it's a sort of show that puts a smile on everybody's face. I mean, people come out feeling really high, because it's a kind of it's a sad tale in some ways. I mean, Gerry Goffin had kind of mental health issues, and that kind of ended their marriage pretty early on, and left Carole in a pretty low sort of place. But she rebuilt. Well, not so much rebuilt. She carved a new career out for herself as a singer-songwriter performer. She'd only been a songwriter up to that point, and she, after the split with Gerry, she kind of started performing her own material and brought something really unique to the popular music world with the album Tapestry, which was just like this phenomenal hit. You know, like. I'm old enough to remember that, those days, and kind of, everybody had a copy of Tapestry in their record collection at that time, or seemed to, and it was never off turntables, So they're going to get all the great early rock and roll numbers, right way back to like 59, through to the unexpected stuff as well, sort of. There's songs you think, I never knew she wrote that. And of course, it's about Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil as well, another pair of songwriters. And you think, my God, I never knew they wrote that. This is like, we've just done We've Got to Get Out of This Place, which people would know from the Animals version of it. But it was actually written by this American songwriters, Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil. And you kind of go, really? That's amazing. And, so they're going to get like some amazing old songs. And the Tapestry album, or a lot of songs from the Tapestry album, and it's a great storyline as well. Sort of this putting herself back together and becoming this wholly different sort of artist. It's very funny as well. It's got a very sharp, wisecracking New York Jewish sort of dialogue. And it's amazing. They called themselves, the 4 songwriters involved, I think they called themselves the 4 Jews in a room who'd change the world,
Absolutely. And what a brilliant production to be involved with. I can't wait to come down and see this myself. As I say, it's been 5 years since I've seen this on stage, and because of the difference in the leads and having seen them before, I was really particularly excited to come down and see these performers as well. I'm really thrilled to be coming to share about this during your visit to Birmingham, and I hope that you have a great time while you're here as well during the week.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I like Birmingham. I've performed at the Rep a couple of times, and I lived there once. I lived in Birmingham once for about a year, and I've always enjoyed the city. There's a couple of Brummies in the cast, so they're looking forward to getting home as well. So it's going to be great. We're looking forward to it. And it'd be nice to meet up with you if you can.
Absolutely. Oh, that's brilliant. You can see Beautiful at the Carole King musical at the Hippodrome from August the 30th until the 3rd of September. You can check out the website at birminghamhippodrome.com. And click on the What's On section for there, and you can visit beautifulmusical.co.uk. That's where all the details of the UK tour are going to be as well. Garry, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us about this today.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for listening to this Brum Radio podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on your podcast app.